On this episode of MythBusters, Adam and Jamie bite the bullet on an all-time classic myth.
I'm told it's only going to hurt a lot.
Do some people tolerate pain better than others?
Ow.
From natural redheads
I am proud to be one of them.
to men versus women, which group has the right stuff?
Those are some tough mothers.
And is swearing really a cure? Or just a curse?
Oh, sweet relief.
Meanwhile, Tori, Grant, and Carrie tackle the myth of ballistic barbecues
Let's torch this thing!
to see if a propane tank that's feeling the heat
We have the best jobs ever! Yeah!
is really a rocket just biding its time.
2, 1.
Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage
Am I missing an eyebrow?
and Jamie Heineman.
Relax. This won't hurt a bit.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
I ate a radio for science.
Joining them, Tori Belleci, Grant Imahara, and Carrie Byron.
It's terrifying!
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. First up, a myth for the masochists.
Okay, that's creepy. What are you doing?
Don't you remember when Spock was talking to the lava monks? Okay, never mind. We are doing a whole set of stories specifically about pain.
I've got one. You're a pain in the...
Okay, no, that's not one of the ones we're doing. We have 3 stories. One is that women can stand more pain than men. 2 is that redheads can't stand very much pain at all. And the third, and I think you're gonna like this, is that supposedly cursing increases your ability to withstand pain.
Well, I bleeping love that.
I thought you would.
Now, Adam has more than a passing acquaintance with pain.
Ow, ow, ow.
And here's just a few of his greatest hits. But Adam himself hasn't a clue if his tolerance for pain is any better than the next guy.
We're gonna have to stitch your mouth shut, I think, for this.
Meh, you wish.
So how's this gonna work?
Well, clearly we're gonna have to subject a lot of people to pain in order to test these stories.
I can do that.
While I am sure that you have some fascinating ideas, the fact is that professional scientists have been studying this subject for years, and I think it would behoove us to go to them and ask them what techniques they're using. Because remember, we've got to do this without damaging anybody.
Oh. Okay.
The best man to consult on the subject works at Stanford University. Your aches and spasms are his bread and butter.
Dr. Chu, how is it you know so much about pain?
Well, I'm an anesthesiologist, but I'm also a pain researcher. And I have a lab here at Stanford where I work on discovering new therapies and treatments for pain. In order to do that work, I need to be able to reliably induce pain in my patients.
With Dr. Chu's help, we'll road test 4 kinds of clinical torture to find out the best one for testing the myths. They probably won't cause any real damage.
First up is heat. This little black box here is actually a precisely controllable heater, which soon we will strap to Jamie's arm and increase the heat until he can't stand it anymore. What could be better than that?
Hi, Jamie.
Hello.
Jamie's told that his arm will get steadily hotter over the next 60 seconds, or until he can't stand it no more.
So here's the button that you'll press. This goes in your right hand. So either red button will turn off the heat immediately.
Okay.
Abby also requests that he speaks out the instant he first feels real pain.
And that would qualify as pain. Ow.
But this is Jamie we're watching, a man so tough, he occasionally rusts.
So that maxed out.
Well, thank you. That was fun.
So here's the question for our man of steel. Is this what we're shopping for?
I have to say that was quite painful, and it did leave a mark. Whether we want to subject a bunch of people to that, I'm not so sure at this point.
Next up, we'll change lab rats and methods. This one promises pain like you wouldn't believe.
I am about to have capsaicin, which is the primary element in very spicy peppers, injected just under my skin. I'm told it's only going to hurt a lot.
Now, we've already had an excruciating brush with capsaicin when Tori, Grant, and Carrie bravely set out to find a cure for hot, chilly mouth. If capsaicin does that to your tongue, just imagine the pain from a hypodermic injection.
Hi, Adam. Okay, now what I want you to do is not move when I do
Okay.
this, okay?
I
That'll
will
be
not
your
move.
instinct, but do not move. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Ow. Oh, wow.
On a scale of 0 to 10?
God. Okay, maybe a 6. It really feels like I'm being burnt. See, I'm not used to feeling a pain that's not actually causing me damage. So I really want to, like, move and run water on it or something.
Yeah, you wanna see something too to make it worth it, right?
Oh, whoa. On a MythBusters pain scale, this is not quite as bad as getting my tongue pierced.
There you go. Give me a breath in and out.
Especially the fact that it goes away after 10 minutes. But I don't think I'd want to do this to a bunch of test subjects in our shop. I say this is a no-go. Okay. I'm gonna go now.
So while Adam recovers, it's Jamie's turn back in the hot seat.
Next up is electric pain. Soon, a pair of electrodes will be strapped to Jamie's arm, touching his skin, and a current will be run through them. This will irritate his nerves and cause a local pain response. And then, that's not all. Then, this device, called a von Freiherr, will be poked around the painful area to map the area of sensitivity. If Jamie has any facial expressions at all, this is likely to be thrilling.
Dr. Chu marks the shape of a star on Jamie's left forearm. The plan is to prod him when this is all over to test his sensitivity.
Now, that's pretty.
Okay, Jamie, I'm going to hook you up to this electrical current, and I'm going to let it run for 30 minutes, and then I'll be back.
That's a long time for Jamie to slowly suffer.
Wow, this is kind of like being hooked up to an electric fence for a half hour. It's not excruciating, but it's not very nice.
In due course, Dr. Chu returns to inflict some scientific stabbing.
Well, I have a great idea now of your overall electrical pain threshold and your area of sensitivity, which is what this test was designed to measure.
Okay, so that means we can turn it off now?
So now to the fourth and final torment. We all know that extreme cold can kill. It can also hurt like hell.
Adam's going to be putting his hand all the way down into this ice bath where it's just above freezing. At first it'll feel cold, then he'll feel pain, and then when he just can't stand it anymore, he'll pull his hand out. Now, this is called the cold presser test, and it's the oldest and most well-established pain induction technique used in pain research.
The temperature is just above freezing. And the rules are the same as before. Just hang on as long as you can.
Look, it's one thing to read about a technique like immersing your hand in ice water, and quite another to do it. And the most surprising thing, and I guess this shouldn't be surprising to me, is that it hurts. It hurts right away, and it's quite intense.
Adam would like to go the distance, but it's not going to happen.
Nope, here we go. That's it. Ow, that's intense.
Yeah, good job.
Adam lasted just 59 seconds, so we know that it hurts like the devil. After sampling 4 distinct kinds of supervised soreness, all that remains is to choose their poison.
Do you feel more manly now?
A little bit. Shall we recap what we learned at Stanford?
I think we need to throw out chili peppers and electricity because they're designed to test sensitivity, not how much pain you can take.
Okay, that leaves heat and ice.
I'm going with ice because it's been around the longest and it's the most widely used.
Ice it is. Well, let's start by testing whether or not women actually do have a higher pain tolerance than men.
Okay.
So it's gloves off between women and men to see who can outlast the deep freeze. But before we can settle this test of the toughest, the boys need to scratch build a rig that can serve up the pain and cater for comfort. To make the testing more TV friendly, Adam turns a normal kitchen clock into a giant stopwatch.
Now, to operate this clock, I've rigged up a sort of electronic armrest dead man switch. So the moment you put your hand in the ice and rest your arm on the armrest, the clock starts. Then the second you lift your arm out, the clock stops.
Jamie's recirculating pump should ensure the ice water stays at 1 degree Celsius for as long as the testing takes. The chill chair is ready for action.
I like it.
Upstairs, 25 men and 25 women literally have no idea what they're in for. Next up is the accidental rocket that could ruin your next barbecue.
So you're looking excited. What's up?
It's our myth. It's a good one, which kind of reminds me of my childhood.
Okay, hit me.
All right, imagine a garage or a shed is on fire. Inside is a barbecue with a propane tank. It explodes and turns into a rocket, launching 150 feet into the air.
Oh, I've heard of this one. It's very similar to the water heater rocket. The heat causes the pressure inside the tank to build, then there's a catastrophic rupture and sends the tank flying up into the sky.
Wait. This reminds you of your childhood?
Yeah, I'd rather not talk about it. My parents are still a little upset.
Like they said, this isn't the first time we've adapted a pressure vessel, or deliberately set one on fire, or even tried to turn a gas tank into a missile. But if this myth is true, catastrophe could be brewing in your own backyard. The story goes that a propane tank once became a rocket. At its perfect trajectory, hit 150 feet.
Look, I gotta say, I got my doubts about this.
How so?
Propane tanks, just like all of the pressurized vessels, have a pressure relief valve built in. When the pressure gets too high, they simply vent off the excess, thereby averting a catastrophic failure.
Yeah, but what if the fire is so intense that the pressure is building faster inside the tank than the relief valve can dump out?
I suppose it's possible.
Button-Day at the bomb range.
Now, for this myth, we need a burning garage with a propane tank inside of it. Now, since no one's gonna let us burn down a garage, we need to build our own, but we don't have time to build a full-size one, so we're gonna make a miniature one. But we're still gonna build it up to code. It's gonna have studs every 16 inches, it's gonna have 3 walls, a driveway, and a roof. Now that should be plenty of material to burn in order to get this garage hot enough to turn this propane tank into a rocket.
So you're probably wondering, how can a propane tank turn into a rocket? Let me paint the picture. You heat up the tank, the pressure inside builds to a high amount. Enough that the tank ruptures somewhere, hopefully in a small pinhole that forms a nozzle. The gas comes shooting out, it catches fire, and all of that causes thrust that launches the tank up into the air like a rocket.
They're hoping this neat little outhouse will eventually burn at a temperature of over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It's almost too pretty to put to the torch, but beauty fades fast around here.
It's Tori's Playhouse! And a magic word for the day is explosions.
Here on the show, we like to say that every day's a good day for an explosion, but some days are definitely better than others.
I thought the dangerous part was gonna be the exploding propane tanks.
You all right?
Oh no.
It's hardly a firm foundation, but the guys know that today, the joys of shed ownership will be fleeting. As a rocket launch site, this will soon be a smoking pile of ashes. Shame, really.
Carrie, I really love these colors. They're very hot for fall, you know.
It's one of the hardest things on MythBusters, and one of the coolest things on MythBusters is you spend so much time on a beautiful build, and then you just obliterate it in seconds. Woo!
They're now ready to install the stunt barbecue and the star of the show.
Hey, don't forget the propane. Came straight from my garage.
But there's still some fuel to add to the fire.
So this kind of looks like a lot of firewood, right? Well, it is. Because what we want is for this fire to burn long and hot.
So they stack the shed with wood and charcoal, 2 common commodities that should catch fire and raise the temperature.
Now, this fire is gonna get so hot that there is a good chance that this tank is gonna explode.
But we want a rocket. And if the relief valve does its job, this could turn out to be nothing more than a backyard bonfire. Then again, one of the great things about MythBusters is that we're so often wrong.
Now, all we have to do is set it on fire. Is this thing gonna burn? Oh yeah, it is. Is it gonna explode? It might. Is it gonna turn into a rocket? I hope so.
After a liberal splash of gasoline,
That ought to do it.
the team shows its flair for setting a fire.
All right, you guys ready?
Ready?
Let's torch this thing in 3, 2, 1.
Each passing second feels like 10 as they hightail it back to the bunker.
Oh, that thing is going up.
Oh my God.
Okay.
By the time they arrive, the shed's an inferno.
Okay, the flare cam says 302 degrees.
Look at that. It's just all white.
Then, with the temperature passing 800 degrees, the safety valve finally kicks in, doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
There it goes. The relief valve just broke. Look at that. It's like a flamethrower.
So there she blows. And the cylinder didn't move an inch. The valve released the gas pressure faster than the tank could build it up.
The important thing is that the tank did not rupture. There was no explosion, and we saw a jet of fire, but no thrust, which would make a rocket.
So the shed bites the dust, but there's room for improvement.
So this myth is not confirmed under normal circumstances. It looks like we're gonna have to disable the pressure relief valve to get any sort of result.
Maybe we need to go back to the shop, change the circumstances to get one of these tanks to act more like a rocket.
All right.
This myth is called no pain, no gain. Though I must admit, it's often hard to see an upside. Adam and Jamie have settled on their tormentive choice, which is sticking your arm in an ice bath to see who lasts the longest. And the very first contest is men versus women. The volunteers have all been declared fit and healthy. None of them know there's a 3-minute cap on the ice dunk. In fact, they don't even know why they're here.
And now it's time for women versus men, specifically the myth that women have a higher tolerance for pain than men. Why is this interesting? Well, in our society, men are viewed as strong and women are viewed as weak. And wouldn't it be lovely if the reverse were true?
It sure would. And we're about to find out.
Yes, I want you to keep your fingers apart so that they get as cold as possible.
Okay.
And hold your hand still in the bucket.
You don't have to do this. Are you okay with it?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Melissa, commence.
Other than that, the instructions are much like the guys got at Stanford. Sing out when it hurts and pull out when it's all too much.
That's pain.
Okay. You got it?
I got it.
As the seconds tick by, Melissa proves more than a match for the arm-numbing pain.
And you're done.
You're done. We have a 3-minute safety cutoff.
Excellent.
You did amazing. Oh my gosh.
That's a positive start for girls versus guys. But the following females fall way short of that magic mark.
Now be sure to tell us whenever you start to feel pain.
All right, it's starting to hurt.
Okay.
The next 4 contestants are much more like Adam. They all last less than a minute.
Thank you very much.
But some hardy souls have no trouble at all in going the distance.
Okay, that's 3 minutes. Out you go. Good job.
Oh my God.
Good sport. We'll get you warmed up.
While Adam crunches the numbers, our paramedic Sanjay is on hand to check their vitals.
Are you feeling dizzy, lightheaded, anything like that? Any chest pain, shortness of breath? Okay. Continue drying your hand and come with me into this other.
All right.
But how can a simple tub of cold water cause so much discomfort?
So how does ice water cause pain? Well, you have special receptors in your skin called nociceptors, and these are specifically to sense temperature. So when your skin temperature gets low enough, these send a signal to your spinal cord and then to your brain, and this is what you interpret as pain. Now the goal here is to get you to remove your hand before you receive any actual damage.
So the tolerance testing begins for the men. And just like the women, they have no idea that this is a battle of the sexes.
Go ahead. All right, keep your fingers spread. There we go. And tell us when you first experience pain.
For the record, that takes just 15 seconds.
Okay, I got some pain now.
Okay.
Half a minute later, Thomas, who looks as tough as teak, has had enough.
All right then.
Whew.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
In the next 60 minutes, many more men take the 1-degree plunge into pain.
Okay. Excellent.
And some do beat the clock.
And that's it. That's 3 minutes. Excellent.
All right.
Tell by the ice that's stuck to your forearm.
While others just seem doomed from the start.
Okay, now you need to tell us when you first experienced pain.
Yeah, it's already started.
That's pain, okay. Now just stay in there until you can't stand it anymore.
And in almost less time than it takes to spell out the word frostbite.
Okay.
Excellent.
Nicely done.
Watch your step coming off here.
Stephen succumbs to unbearable pain.
Sanjay will take it from here.
Okay, thank you.
Coming in.
Stephen, thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thanks to all those who've rolled up their sleeves for popular science. Adam's done the arithmetic, so we won't keep you waiting on men versus women. The final figures are the average number of seconds they lasted.
Ta-da! We have crunched the numbers from all our test subjects. Would you like to know the result?
Yes.
Okay, here it comes. The result is myth confirmed. Women did, in fact, have a reasonably higher tolerance for pain than men in our study.
I'll be darned.
Ha! In your face, Matt. Oh.
Good.
So the women win out. But Jamie would like to dig deeper.
And specifically, I'm wondering about women that have undergone natural childbirth without painkillers. I mean, they've experienced an awful lot of pain. So I think we need to go back and tease that out of our data. There you go. Perfect.
It's a sentiment echoed by those who should know what it feels like.
I think women probably have a higher pain threshold because they need to endure childbirth.
And you're done. You made it 3 minutes. Hurts, doesn't it?
Yes.
13 of the women we've already tested gave birth without pain-killing drugs. So it's time to review their results.
Tell me when you're ready.
Go ahead.
I've given birth 3 times without pain medication, and each time on a pain scale of 1 to 10, the pain was a 10.
It's no real surprise that Kelly's one of the few to get through to the finish.
And you made it to 3 minutes. You can pull your hand out.
Oh, it's 3 minutes?
Yes.
It's now up to Adam to pinpoint the timings of all the natural mothers and gently deliver the data.
What'd you get?
Well, it's quite fascinating. When we separated mothers and non-mothers out from our test subjects, we got some very interesting numbers. Non-mothers came in at 73.8, lower than the average that the men had. And you know what that means?
I think you're going to tell me, aren't you?
I am. And that means mothers came in at a whopping 124, way higher than the average that men had.
Wow, those are some tough mothers.
They are.
So in our pain tolerance test, women beat men by a handy margin. And moms who bore babies without drugs reigned supreme. But there's more to this myth than just sex. And we'll soon see if redheads are truly the world's biggest wimps. Tori, Grant, and Carrie are testing the myth that a superheated propane tank could rupture and take off like a rocket, 150 feet in the air. So far, all they've done is burn down a shed. Now it's time to disable that pesky safety relief valve from an empty tank.
So these propane tanks have a lot of safety features built in, and they don't want you to be able to go in and defeat them. So us professional yahoos have to grind our own tools because this is a non-standard bolt. So I'm gonna take this perfectly good wrench and make it into a custom removal tool.
And that's as much as we're going to show or explain, because trying this yourself is a really bad idea. Suffice it to say that before long, Grant's removed the device and plugged the hole to simulate an old tank with a busted valve.
Gotta say, with this safety valve disabled, I see big boom in our future.
Back on the range, Tori reveals the other major modification in Plan B. Instead of burning a shed, they'll heat their blocked-up tank with a portable propane gas range.
So we're setting up a burner, attaching a 20-foot hard line to that. Then to that, we're going to attach a 200-foot line down the bomb range to our feed tank.
Now, just so we're all crystal clear, this feed tank pumps propane direct to the burner. so the flames stay lit. It's in no way hooked up to our canister rocket, but you can't be too careful.
Okay, that's it.
That's good. Now at the feed tank, we're gonna have a flashback arrestor. So if any chance of a flame coming down the line gets to our feed tank doesn't explode.
In short, they'd prefer it if this tank managed to stay in one piece, while the other one heads for the heavens.
A pressure release valve, which we've dismantled from this particular tank, is there to prevent a key disaster. It's called a BLEVE. Now that's an acronym for Boiling Liquid Expanding Vapor Explosion. A vessel that has a pressurized liquid inside, when it ruptures, can have a catastrophic explosion.
They should get their BLEVE, but Grant doubts he'll witness the launch of a missile.
The problem is we don't know where it's gonna rupture. I think it's just gonna rupture probably on this seam and go wham! I still don't think it's gonna be a rocket.
To find out if he's right, Tori lights up the stovetop,
Here we go.
while Grant pumps the gas.
This could be big.
It could be really big.
It's gonna be a huge fireball.
Or a really awesome rocket.
Yeah, look at the bottom is blackening.
And you can see the blurry heat fog right above it.
10 minutes in, this modified tank looks like it's ready to burst.
Is the tank, does it look like it's getting rounder?
It does.
Yeah, it does, right? Well, that wasn't necessarily a rocket because pieces went that way, 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 that way.
In fact, they went every which way but vertical.
There's a piece right there.
That was no way!
Glad you're in the bunker, huh?
Wow.
Holy crap.
The actual blast was so strong, it blew out the flame from the burner. Some of the shards flew 300 feet sideways, but stray bits of metal do not make a rocket.
So this is what's left of our tank, and it's pretty much what I expected to happen. They rupture. However, they rupture in random spots.
We definitely achieved a BLEVE. Our tank ruptured and lost all of its energy all at once, rather than any sort of nozzle-like activity.
What we want is a tiny hole punched through the base to release all the force of the pressurized gas. And if a tank was part rusted in just the right spot, there's a good chance we'd get our rocket.
Oh, I think we could definitely do that. Let's go try it.
All right.
So we're back in the shop. Now, before we start weakening these tanks as if they were rusty or old tanks, I need to find out exactly what I'm up against. So what I'm gonna do is cut one of these in half just to find out how thick the wall is, because we wanna cut halfway through the thickness of the wall, not all the way through and puncturing it.
Ever so carefully. Tori splits the empty tank in two, then pulls out the calipers.
Knowing that the base of this tank is 0.083 inches thick, this is where we want to weaken the tank so that this fails before the rest of the tank ruptures and hopefully creates a nozzle through which we get thrust.
So Grant sets the drill to just half that depth, boring a divot to approximate a neglected tank that's part rusted through.
Now it's time to make a rocket.
All right. Yes,
Out on the bomb range, well, at least it's not raining.
Oh, dear.
If this was NASA, they'd call off the launch. But perseverance pays off as the fog soon lifts, and hopes are high for a genuine liftoff.
This should be fun.
For this myth to be confirmed, we're actually going to have to propel that tank 150 feet in the air. That's a 5-gallon tank. That is going to take so much thrust. That's a lot of thrust.
Once again, they'll heat the tank with a propane burner, and the pressure relief valve is blocked off.
Is it good yet?
This will be the ultimate test of a compromised container. Now we're ready to see if a 5-gallon barbecue gas tank can really take flight.
Okay, ready to start.
All right, turn it on. Good. Let's see if we get a rocket.
I think it's going to work this time. I'm feeling really good about this experiment.
Yeah, I feel confident that weakening right on the bottom, it's in the perfect place to form a rocket nozzle.
Whatever happens, it's going to be spectacular.
But it's clear that they'll have to be patient. After almost 4 minutes, the tank isn't bulging like the last time. Then...
Oh!
I don't think that was a rocket.
That was absolutely not a rocket. It just blew up.
once again, the blast extinguished the burner. It's a splatter spectacular. But the myth remains vertically challenged.
We got a rupture that started from the bottom. It peeled apart the tank, threw it in many different directions, but nothing looked like a rocket.
Hey, Grant, look! I found a piece of the tank.
All the way up there?
Isn't that nuts?
It's another disastrous failure to launch. But the bit that burst first went exactly to plan.
And did you notice where it ruptured? I mean, exactly where we weakened the tank.
Still not a rocket. But you know what, before we give up on the scenario, we used a full tank here. What if the tank in the garage was almost empty?
Another explosion? Okay, I'm in.
Game.
All right.
Grant's theory that less is more might well be the key to unleashing the power of propane. And who can say no to another explosion? So far, Carrie, Grant, and Tori have totally failed to confirm the myth that a barbecue propane tank could fly like a rocket. They've blocked off the relief valve,
Pieces went that way,
then drilled out the bottom to simulate a rusty tank.
I don't think that was a rocket.
But Grant thinks the key to success is to stop way short of filling the tank.
Now, a nearly empty propane tank might be the key to creating a rocket. Let me illustrate with this water bottle. Now, the water in here represents the liquid propane. It's incompressible. There's no room for the gas to expand and build up pressure. But if we remove most of that liquid, now we have all of this volume for the gas to expand and build up pressure. And that might be what turns this into a rocket.
I'm having a hard time believing that this is going to happen after the last few tests. But since we are changing the circumstances just slightly, putting less propane in, we might have a different conclusion.
This time, Carrie does the cooking and the running. No one knows just what's going to happen or when.
It's starting to look like it's swelling a little bit.
Well, it's turned almost completely black. That's when it exploded last time.
Propane rocket. Here we go.
And sooner than Tori expected,
Wait. That was not 150 feet in the air, and it didn't go straight up. It kind of went bing.
All right, but you have to admit, that is the best thing we've seen so far.
in fact, it's the first tank they've seen that shot up like a missile and stayed intact.
We're all incredibly excited right now. I mean, we actually created something that looked like a rocket.
A 60-foot launch is not the 150 they wanted, but it's promising and totally spectacular. You'd be a brave man to call this one busted.
It's totally plausible. I mean, it didn't make it to 150 feet, but it did look like a rocket.
Yeah, this is like a lot of our myths. I mean, we have a bizarre set of circumstances that gives us a totally wild outcome, but we didn't get that 150 feet. I mean, what can we do to make that go 150 feet?
Ooh.
Laughter like that can only mean one thing. They will do whatever it takes to match the myth. At some point, you've probably pondered this yourself. Can some of us tolerate more pain than others?
Be quiet.
So far, it's hardly been a case of damsels in distress. The testing shows women are clearly more stoic than men.
What's next, Adam?
Next is a myth that I take a little personally, and it is that redheads supposedly have a lower tolerance for pain than regular people.
So once again, you get to experience pain for science, huh?
No. I did my duty walking on hot coals, man. I remember it like it was yesterday.
This was the time when the whole team walked the walk on hot coals, and the only one to suffer was our resident redhead. It's a common belief that redheads just can't cope with pain. So, from strawberry blondes to real carrot tops, Adams assembled a bunch of his brethren.
Oh my gosh. I've never seen so many of my people in one place at one time. This is crazy. Well, it's like a traveling touring show of Brigadoon.
The rules are exactly the same as for men versus women, and it already seems there's some truth to the rumor.
I hate cold.
Oh, good.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect.
I've heard that redheads have a lower tolerance of pain, but I don't actually know a large enough sample group to confirm or deny that, so we'll see what happens today.
We sure will.
Done.
Excellent.
As 24 more women
It's ridiculously cold.
Isn't it?
and men
Whenever you're ready. All right.
wave the flag for the Red-Headed Regiment.
Perfect.
I think it is a myth. I think we may feel it faster than other people.
And now it's starting to hurt.
But I think we can stand it just as well, if not better.
And you made it to 3 minutes. Out you come.
Brian's the first of a small batch to challenge the myth that the Redheads can't take it.
You made it 3 minutes. Done. And pull your hand out. Excellent work.
Woo.
Have a seat.
But there's still the odd person who doubts her endurance.
I'd rate my tolerance of pain as probably below average because I'm kind of a big baby.
Jane finally hangs on for 90 seconds. As for the rest of the Redheads,
excellent work.
They last long enough to make busting this part of the myth a real possibility.
All right, Jamie, it's time for the one I know that you've been waiting for. Redheads versus non-redheads. We crunched the numbers. Do you want to know the result?
Yes.
Okay, here they come. The myth that redheads have a lower tolerance for pain is busted hugely. Look at the redheads. They kicked the butt of everybody else we tested.
Well, those are your peeps. Are you proud?
I am proud to be one of them, yes.
The last launch of the propane gas tank looked close to perfection. They just couldn't manage the mythical 150 feet. So here's the plan. To replicate the results of the myth, Tori builds a 10-foot rocket launcher. He's also come up with a surefire way to punch out the perfect nozzle.
I got a 9mm pistol. It's in a ransom rest and it's pointed at the base of our tank. Now, that ransom rest is connected to a window motor. All I need to do is run that motor. It'll pull the ransom rest lever and fire the gun.
That's a whole new way to shoot a rocket. Back at the range for the very last time, Tori's rig is deployed in a matter of minutes. But the force of the bullet remains a concern.
If we shoot all the way through, making 2 holes, all of that pressure is going to vent out of the second hole. So we selected a small enough caliber handgun to shoot in, but it doesn't come out.
Let's hope they've guessed right.
Now, we've taken everything we've learned from our previous tests and applied it to this last one in order to replicate the results of the myth. I mean, we got one tank to go to 60 feet, but we want our next one to go to 150 feet.
Dude, this is the best pressure tank heating, propane rocket guiding, automatic gun firing rig that we've ever built.
All right, we're ready to load the gun. Do you want to light the flare?
The flares are set to light the flame once Grant turns on the gas. And the gun, safely mounted below the burners, will eventually be fired remotely by Tori.
This is my favorite part, replicating the results.
All right, the gun's loaded. The gun's loaded. We're on our way.
We have the best jobs ever!
As the flames start licking the steel, they figure they've got around about an 8-minute wait.
So we know approximately when we need to set this off, but for some reason, if you see it start to swell, fire, because we know it's going to go any second.
Yeah, right.
By now, they all know the drill, but still, the wait seems endless.
God, whenever we have to wait for something to explode, it seems like time goes really, really slow.
I know, right?
And hopefully that bullet's only gonna go through the bottom and give us a nozzle.
So the watch continues for those telltale signs of imminent tank failure.
You know what?
I think it's round, dude.
All right.
If they wait any longer, the tank might explode. So it's now or never. Firing the gun should breach the bottom and give them their rocket.
In 3, 2, 1.
Brilliant launch, and the suspense leading up to it was just a nail biter.
With a perfect 9mm nozzle and a launch tower, this really was a proper propane rocket. And if the tank had fins to keep its trajectory straight and true, well, who knows?
When you take it back to the original myth, yes, we did not get the 150 feet, but we got something that really looked like a rocket. I think it's still plausible.
I agree. Plausible.
Plausible.
Under the perfect storm of conditions, I think you could get a rocket.
Adam and Jamie have already taken one for the team, then tortured some strangers to find out if some folk cope better with pain.
All right. So what's next?
Well, allow me to demonstrate.
Ow!
Question, did swearing make that hurt less?
I don't know.
Well, that's our next myth. Does swearing increase your tolerance to pain?
Ah!
It's a fair enough question, but testing it out poses obvious problems.
We've cursed on the show before, plenty. But what you may not know is that not only do they bleep the sound of our curses, but often if our mouth is visible during a curse, they blur it so you can't read our lips and see what nasty things are coming out of us. And every time they have to blur it, it costs a lot of money. So I figure I'm gonna do the editors a favor for this myth and actually make a piece of headgear which blurs my mouth for them. Then all they have to do is a bleep, and bleeps are cheap.
Almost no sooner said than done. If all goes to plan, Adam's patent mouthguard should shield the profanities.
All right, here goes the first test. Initiating the curse-proof tool. How about this? Eating. No blurring for the editors.
Given that this setup is all the same, how is this test any different than the others?
For this test, our sample size will be 5, except instead of averaging our data across all 5 test subjects, in this test, each subject will be compared to themselves.
In order to isolate the act of swearing from the act of speaking, our test subjects are going to be repeating a number of non-swear words over and over again while they're undergoing the test.
Carrie, Tori, and Grant are sworn in to make up the 5. Now, this is a test in 2 parts. First, the control, where they pre-select ordinary words to scream out when it hurts.
Okay, there are your words. 5 non-swear words.
First, Grant, and then Carrie, hang on as long as they can.
Donut.
Fudge.
Blueberry.
Sugar?
Schnitzel.
Oh, goodness.
Piston.
But both fall way short of the 3-minute limit.
I think that's it. That's...
Okay, I'm getting tunnel vision. I really can't last that long.
1.
Adam's the next one to chance his arm.
Puppies, kittens, babies, ducklings. Oh, baby hippo.
But again, he can't last more than a minute.
Ah, puppies, puppies, kittens, kittens, baby hippos, babies, ducklings. Ah.
The next man to try to maintain some control is Tori.
In 3, 2, 1. Assist. Ship. Bun. Cocoa. Cutting. Assist. Ship. Gosh dang it, cold.
Tori's jumped the gun with his potty mouth.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I peaked out about 15.
And then he finds out he's in double trouble.
Oh my God, it's completely numb.
Tori, thanks for participating, but unfortunately we have to disqualify you.
Why?
Number one, you actually swore during the test, which is what the test is about, and you weren't supposed to swear. So you're out because of that, and you also lasted past the 3 minutes. It could have been because of the swearing. We don't know.
So I'm done getting tortured, is basically what you're telling me.
Yeah.
But can Jamie do better? We're about to find out.
Fudge! Fish! Mutton! Hassan pepper!
My hand feels like it's on fire.
But we all know Jamie's only part human. Sure enough, he muddies the icy waters by going the distance.
If you outlast the first test, that automatically disqualifies you for the second one because there's no improvement to be made. And I did, and so I'm out.
So we need 2 replacements for Jamie and Tori. Staffers Will and Yvette both take the test and qualify to fill out the corridor. Now for the PG part of the program, as Adam fits Grant with the swear guard.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Go do the test.
All right. See you later.
This will sully Grant's image, but remember, it's all in the name of science.
They start to lose meaning after a while. Oh! Ow! Okay, ow! Ah!
Crap.
Will and Yvette continue the blue streak. Then sweet Carrie steps up, primed with words that would shock a longshoreman.
Oh my God!
It actually seems to be working as Carrie goes on to beat the clock. And the last one to hope that his mother's not watching is Adam.
All right, 5 dirty words. Here they come.
Now let's see if some cussing makes Adam last longer.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. Oh my God.
Hard to say if the swearing is helping, as Adam pulls out at just under a minute.
There we go. Oh, I gotta stop. Oh.
Once he's tallied the timings, Jamie rolls out the stats on the swearing.
Everybody was on the plus side.
Indeed. And the average increase is 30%.
Wow.
It is incredible. Shouting obscenities, compared to non-cuss words,
Fish!
actually increased on average their tolerance to pain by a whopping 30%. But remember, kids, like we always say, don't try this at home.
Oh, sweet relief.
So where do we stand?
Well, let's go down the list. Number 1, the myth that women have a higher pain tolerance than men.
Turns out to be true.
Yep. Number 2, the myth that redheads have a lower pain tolerance than regular people.
Surprisingly, that's busted.
And finally, the myth that cursing increases one's tolerance for pain.
That would be confirmed.
You know, while experiencing some of that pain may have sucked, I'm actually quite pleased with how definitive our results are.
Well, you know what they say.
What?
No pain, no gain.